Hey guys, what's up? Sirmel11 here. Welcome to my review of Zero's Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. This is the second game out of the Zero's Escape series, and for some reason they've given the games an overall title now, so they are all known as Zero's Escape, and then you have the actual title of the game. This game feels short for one run through. It feels shorter compared to the first game, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. And I was able to solve some of the puzzles in this game on my own, but I definitely did need a guide for this game. Unless you're a super genius who's done everything with their life, played all these different games, experienced everything, you're going to need a guide to play this game. And I have no shame in saying that. It's a hard game, and overall, I am more concerned with the story in this game than the gameplay. And as you're playing this game, you get one of many different endings, and this game actually has 28 endings, so let's just say they're all important to the overall plot in one way or another. And all the endings are influenced by your choices in the game. During my first playthrough of the game, I got one of the good endings. In the previous game, 999, you had to replay the entire game to get to the other endings. Well, that's been fixed completely in this game, and you now have a flowchart showing all of the different directions that the game can go. You simply pick a point in time, go back to it, and make different choices to get different endings. It's great, but it does become tedious after a while, and be sure to play the original game first because there's plenty of references and it has an ongoing story. I don't see why you would be playing this game and not have played 999 in the first place. Moving on to the story, you play as Sigma, a college student who ends up getting kidnapped by a person named Zero. Sigma is forced to play a game known as the Nonary game, and each player in this game, there are 9 by the way, have a watch on their wrist. And these players have to form teams with each other and earn points for completing different puzzles. They earn points which will be used to help them escape. If they earn 9 points, they can escape through the 9 door. But this watch can also kill them if their points go down to 0. All the characters are fun and have different things about them that make you want to learn more about their character. They have personality and actually feel like real people. And one character that I liked in particular in this game is Dio. He swears a lot and I love it. And I can see some similarities between the character and myself besides the cursing. And I also thought Fee was a pretty cool character as well. As you go through the different endings, you learn more about these characters, and the game is very thought-provoking with its ideas. It introduces very interesting concepts, even if some of them are made up just for the game. It still seems like a lot of thought and hard work went into making this game. This game does feel short compared to 999 for some reason. 999 might have had harder puzzles, I don't know, but something does feel different about this game compared to the first game. This game is in full 3D, and it doesn't look the greatest on the Nintendo 3DS. I believe it looks better on the PS Vita, but that's not a big concern. The story is interesting enough to where you can overlook the graphics, and very few scenes in the game are actually fully animated, but whenever you do get to a cutscene, it's a fun treat to see that in full animation. The game is fully voice acted, which is great, and games with this much text pretty much need voice acting. The voice acting is fine, I didn't have any problems with it. The voice acting actually makes the characters more memorable and everything. This game is good, but it could have been better. It really seems like Nintendo is the only one who can use the full power on their gaming systems. The graphics could have been improved, and I did like the 2D art from the original game. I don't know why they switched styles. Sure, you can see more movement in this game because it's 3D, but the 2D animation just looks better to me. And yes, the game is fully animated, but most of the animation is on the characters talking, not them moving. There's rarely a lot of movement in this game. And it's kind of a random complaint, but whenever you enter a door, there's a door animation every single time. It's annoying because you have to go through the doors quite often. So they need to work on that and have an option to skip that. I know it's pretty much a staple of the series, but it's a nuisance to replay the game to get all the endings. I realize that's artistic in a way, but after beating games, sometimes I don't feel like playing them over again. And you may think I'm lazy, but you have to remember that this is a visual novel game. There is a lot of text. After going through the game once, I had a sense of relief, but I didn't know the full story. Plus, there were other hard puzzles that I had to try to do and then look up the guide and then beat the puzzles. And maybe this is nitpicky, but I just kind of wanted more from the endings. They're just different puzzles at the end of the day and then more story. Like, let's say you beat Pokemon and suddenly there's a whole new region. That's exciting. Or a Kirby game has a new world after the last one. That's better. And I guess after a while, getting all the endings became a job rather than fun. If you want the true ending, this game takes way too long to finish completely. I believe in the original game you had to play the game twice to get the real ending. I did that, and then I didn't play the game over to get all the endings because, again, this game has a better system. I did want to see the endings in 999, but it was just too much effort to get to all of them. I did not want to go through all that text. The game's flowchart system is nice, and you can skip around any text that you've seen already, but with all the talking in the game, one switch to a different point in time can take a while because they might actually change up the way the scene goes, so you would have to listen to part of it again and then you get the new text as well. And then you have to do everything to get the real ending. You have to complete all the endings to get the true ending of the game. And after a while, I started looking up guides. The puzzles are hard and I can't solve most of them anyway. The game does introduce interesting concepts while many of them are probably fake, fabricated just for the game, but it does show just how intelligent the writers are because these concepts do make sense. And overall, I did enjoy this game, but I'd say 999 was a better game. I'd give this game a lower score, and I don't really use review scores anymore, but I wrote down ideas for this review, so I gave the game a 7.5. Replaying the game so many times is really a hassle that I didn't enjoy, and I also think the 3DS can push out better graphics based on what Nintendo's produced. The third game actually came out, so maybe you'll see a review of that in the future, and I'd like to see a game where you don't have to play it numerous times to get the real ending, but I feel like the flow chart will carry over into the next game. Oh, and the watches in this series are cool, and I still want to buy one. If you'd like, you can check out my review of the original game below, and this review is like 2 years old, I swear. I had some ideas written down for this review, and then I never made the video, and then I recently wrote down an actual review, well, not recently, like months ago, so maybe like a month or two ago, and then I wrote down that, and then here's the review. So yeah, anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. The links are below. I'm Surma11. See you next time, and peace out.